Who are Premier League title favourites? That's the question I am asking tonight. I want a live debate with you guys in the chat. Who do you think? Who would you say right now are Premier League title favourites? Obviously, Liverpool lost at the weekend against Chelsea 2-1 on Saturday, following Arsenal's win over West Ham earlier on in the game, earlier on in the day. And then we saw also Man City win yesterday away to Brentford with Haaland getting a goal. But who are right now Premier League title favourites? And we're looking at the positives and the negatives of all three teams. And is there anyone else that you guys can think of coming from behind? Maybe Chelsea, maybe a Tottenham, someone else could be a surprise somewhere out of nowhere. Is someone else in the title race, or is it just these three teams, or is it just the two between Liverpool and Arsenal, which many have made out to be? I'm just going to ask that question tonight. Who is Premier League title favourites? Going to go over the weekend's results and what it means to the Premier League title, and go over the positives and negatives right now of each side in the Premier League and who I think are the Premier League title favourites. So make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, and get your opinions in the chat as well. If you are live, if you are watching, get your opinions in the chat who you think are the Premier League title favourites, and how much do you rate Liverpool right now in terms of winning the Premier League title? Also, we are Premier League champions. We are Premier League champions. We're the reigning title champions. So really, you would initially think we are favourites. Starting the season, we were favourites, and rightly favourites. We are the champions. We are the reigning champions. And we spent how much money in the summer? We know that already. But right as of now, 1 point behind Arsenal. Does that mean Arsenal are Premier League title favourites? So let's go for the weekend results for number one. Let's go for the weekend results. So obviously, let's start with Arsenal got a big win on Saturday. Well, I'll say a big win. What was a big win for them is in like they took them to the Premier League pinnacle, it took them to the top of the league, and then that put the pressure on Liverpool on Saturday evening. I thought, and we all expected, we all hoped Liverpool would bounce back and make a statement at Stamford Bridge, and that would have been a huge statement to go to Stamford Bridge and get the win. But we never did. We never really turned up on Saturday. We were the second best team throughout the game and deserved to lose. And we didn't really play like champions. And Jamie Carragher has been actually saying this in the last few weeks, that Liverpool are not playing like Premier League champions. Yes, we are getting Premier League champion results in terms of the last minute winners against Newcastle, against Bournemouth, against Burnley. We are getting, and obviously Arsenal quite late as well. It wasn't last minute, but quite late. We are getting results of Premier League champions, but we're not playing like Premier League champions. And Jamie Carragher said, like, we're playing quite open. It's quite basketball football. It's that end to that end to that end to that end. And Premier League champions don't, title winning teams that season don't play like that. And you're going to get games like that. You're going to get games that are end to end. But right now, Liverpool are not taking control of games, which is a big issue. It is a big issue. We're looking open at the back. Lack of a DM is really showing now, especially when moving Gravenberch forward into what he likes to play. Our fullbacks, we don't know which is the best fullback. We don't know what system to play them in. We're not getting the best out of Salah. We're not getting the best out of Wirtz. We're really struggling in terms of going forward as well as going back. And results as of yet, the positive results, the winning results, bar the, I'd say, Atletico Madrid and Everton game, bar that, the other results have really covered over the poor performances. And we have now seen the poor performers catch up in results. The last three games, obviously, losing 3 in a row. The first time, actually, that Arne Slot has lost 3 games in a row in his career, in his managerial career, which is a first. And let's see how we bounce back from that. Nobody's favourite yet, bro. On 7 games in, yeah. I understand that, Emmy. I do understand that. I do get that. It is early. There's no considerable favourites. Like, oh yeah, they definitely should. It's their title to lose. Or it's their title. You know what I'm saying? There's none of that for me. There's no team that's their title to lose. I can say right now, a lot of people will say that though. By the way, a lot of people put it on Arsenal now and say it's your title to lose. You're top. It doesn't work like that. It's team's title to lose when there's 10 games left in your top. Maybe it's their team's title to lose from there. But I hope you stay like this for the 19th. I bet you do, mate. I bet you do. Also, Emmy, anyone that doesn't know Emmy, if anyone that comes in often, Emmy is a Manchester United fan. unfortunate for him. But as he's saying there, he hopes that, for me though, Emmy, the international break has come at the right time. And I think you're unlucky that the international breaks come the when it is for us, because we need this break right now. We need to work on a lot of things with Arne Slot. We need to work on a lot of things on system. Who's his best team? Who's his best formation? And yeah, there you go. But now looking at the form squad state, I probably say Arsenal technically favourites. We are going to go over this, Emmy. I want a nice debate with you actually, because you're looking from the outside. As a Man United fan, it's nice. I'm glad you're in the chat actually. So you're a Man United fan. You're looking from the outside. You have no horse in the race. If honest, you haven't been in the races for a long time. But bias aside, also, although you don't want Liverpool to win, obviously, you'll take Arsenal or City to win over Liverpool. I know you don't want City to win either, but you take Arsenal to win over Liverpool or Man City. You'd also take Man City to win over Liverpool. But you are still seeing it from the outside point of view. So together, we're going to go through the positives, we're going to go through the negatives of each team on who looks title favourites right now. So let's start with Man City. Let's start with Pep Guardiola's Man City. So I'll start with negatives, and then I'll look at the positives, and then I'll come to no conclusion who is the title favourites right now. So obviously they got a big win yesterday against Brentford. Well, I say a big win. It was a 1-0 win. It was a dominant game, but they got the win. That's the main thing. And what thing is with them right now, Haaland's looking very good as well. So the negatives for Manchester City is the fact that they haven't really got a team that's been playing together often. You know, they lost De Bruyne, a big character in that dressing room. Someone that's been there, done that, and won it all. Rodri got injured again yesterday. Big miss. We know how much of a miss Rodri is of when he got injured last season. That was the miss for Man City. That really took him took him backwards massively. But looking at their starting lineup yesterday, it's going to go through the starting lineup. So they have Nico O'Reilly at left back, Vardiol and Diaz at centre back, Matheus Nunes at right back, Donnarumma obviously net, Oscar Bob right, Savinho left. Rodri also started and got brought off obviously because of the injury. So Nico Gonzalez came on. Foden, Reinders and Haaland. Really, out of those, in terms of experience of winning that title and being there, done that, you've got Haaland, you've got Diaz, and Rodri obviously is injured now. So other than that, they've got a very Foden as well. Also, Foden's been there, done that. They've got a very, very inexperienced side. I think Donnarumma is a very, very important player. If I'm honest, Donnarumma's a good buy for Man City. He's been there, done that with PSG. Just won the Champions League with PSG. The main guy in net also for PSG last season. A big part of why they won the Champions League. So they have got experience there, but not enough compared to a Liverpool, for example. And it is pretty much a new team playing together. You know, Reinders, it's his first season there. Savinho getting into, obviously, it's his second season, but getting used to like Foden again. Foden was off it last season, so he's trying to find his feet still. Vardiol is gone to centre back this season with Diaz. Matheus Nunes at right back, who's normally a centre midfielder. Also, Bernardo Silva and Doku on the bench as well. Bernardo Silva very, very experienced as well. But yeah, right now, Man City do have that negative side on their side in terms of the experience they've got. They have got like Kovacic on the bench, who's been in winning teams. You know, John Stones has been there for quite a while. Nathan Ake has been there for quite a while. So they've got some experience. They've got a very good squad depth. I think they've got pretty much a very good squad depth. Obviously, Rain Shirky didn't come on yesterday. Kovacic, Rico Lewis, Nathan Ake, John Stones all didn't come on the pitch yesterday. So that's a good bench. But in terms of a whole team, it's quite a new team. The starting line is quite a new team. The only ones that have been there, last few years is Vardiol, Diaz, Foden, Haaland. Pretty much that. It's all the new team, including new signings last year. So that's quite a negative on their sides. Are they ready for that title challenge yet? In terms of they were through transition. I think their transition started like maybe last year, but the outgoing of De Bruyne sort of confirmed that sort of transition. Is it a transition year for Man City, or is it more of they've done the transition year? Now it's their time to come back up, go back up to the top. Is it too early for Man City? That's the question with that team. The positives on Man City's side is, well, they have a Champions League winning goalkeeper in net, and they also have Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland, when he is on it, which this season he is absolutely on it, he can fire you into a title race. He's such a prolific goal scorer. Like, honestly, I've never seen a goal scorer like this, where it's just guaranteed goals constantly, every single season. You guarantee at least 20 goals off him every single season. So if he's on it, he could easily push you into a title race himself. Another one is what Emmy said here. Obviously, he's saying it's Pep's last year, but another one in terms of title race, a positive for them is they've got Pep Guardiola still. They've still got Pep Guardiola, who's renowned as one of the best, if not the best manager of all time, alongside Alex Ferguson. Emmy will come in and chat with Fergie. But yeah, Pep Guardiola's been there, done that. He's bought everything you need to do as winning titles. He knows how to win titles. If anyone in the world of football knows how to win titles in terms of managers right now, it's Pep Guardiola. So, there's only him really and Ancelotti in world football that right now as a manager, active manager, that doesn't know any more than winning titles. So they have got him. But sometimes he does hold them back as well, regarding his overthinking of games. But if you've got one of the best, if not the best manager of world football, you've always got a chance of winning titles. And with a Haaland up front, he can certainly keep you in title races. So that's the negatives and the positives from Man City side. Now looking at Arsenal. So Arsenal's negative side, their major negative in terms of winning. One second, I'm just going to get through some of these from Emmy as well. In all seriousness, you have nothing to worry about, bro. Players still adapting to Prem and trying to gel together. You'll be fine. City without Rodri was a major problem with them, to be honest. They went from world class to United. They don't go that bad, mate. They don't go that bad. Best manager for me of all time is Paisley. Another positive is Doku is actually finding, and I said this, Emmy. I don't know if you watched me back in summer, and we were speaking about wingers. We were speaking about wingers linked to Liverpool, and I was talking about Leao. I said Leao's quite simple. I said I like Rafa Leao. He's got so much ability. It's just his end product. And I said he reminds me of Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku has so much ability. He can take players on constantly. It just needs to improve his end product. And I said that comes down to coaching. I said this. Anyone that watched me back in summer, I said him and Leao and Doku have got bags of ability. They can become good. They just need coaching in their final, their final third sort of situations and their end product. And this season, Doku's absolutely done that. And that's why you see now he's found his end product. He's a fucking good player. He's a good player for Belgium. He's a good player in Belgium as well. So 90 trophies in 9 years will never be done again, said Emmy. Yeah, absolutely, Paisley. But I can't really talk too much on. Also, I'm a Liverpool fan. I know about Paisley, obviously. I got ingrained Paisley and Shankly through my dad, but I wasn't alive to see that. So I can't really say much on that. The best managers I've seen, obviously, Fergie, Pep, go beyond that. It's like Ancelotti, Mourinho. Best manager in my lifetime for Liverpool is Klopp. So Doku reminds me so much of Sterling at Liverpool and City. Yeah, I mean Sterling had. I mean, I still think Sterling didn't really hit the potential he ever had. Even he performed class for England the last few years of his career. Well, before he obviously went on to Chelsea and Arsenal, but I still think he had bigger potential, like one of the best in the world's potential. Sterling, especially when I watched him at Liverpool. But yeah, so negatives of Arsenal. The biggest negative of Arsenal, is them not being there, done that. And that is a huge thing. It is a huge thing. They've not been there. They've not won anything. Also, they won the FA Cup a few seasons ago, but that's really, they haven't really taken that into. It's not a winning team. The only really winner they've got an entire team there. Looking at the team, one second. I'm just looking at yesterday's team and yesterday's bench as well. So the only really winners they've got there is probably Gyökeres, who won at Sporting Lisbon, the league. Declan Rice won at West Ham with the Conference League. How far can you go? Was Odegaard with Real Madrid when they won stuff? I can't remember when I was at Real Madrid. It was quite a while back now, wasn't it? So yeah, they haven't really got winners. They've not got players that have been there, done that. Bar, Declan Rice is a fantastic player and is a leader. He's not the captain, but he's a leader. and how he was a big part of West Ham also winning the Conference League, and he does bring that sort of leadership to Arsenal. Gyökeres obviously winning at Sporting Lisbon, the major part of Sporting Lisbon winning those titles against Benfica and against Porto, which is against the grain really in terms of Portugal. But is it that title winning mentality that Arsenal need to win the Premier League and to win the Champions League? I don't know. Negative for Arsenal, they lost second place. Well, then again, though, that as well can also be seen as a positive. It is a negative in the fact that they don't know how to get over the line. This is what I'm saying about the experience of getting over the line. They don't know how. That team right now at Arsenal don't know how to get over the line. But in the same breath, they have gone back to back in title challenges. They haven't dropped off. They have kept consistent, and they've learned from those challenges. They've learned. I think this is what Liverpool had to do with this. We came second. Before we came top, we came second. We gradually came up from from 7th to 4th to 2nd, and then we eventually won the title with Klopp. And we came second again a couple of times, and then eventually won the title again with Slot. Sometimes these seconds, although it's a bad thing, they don't know how to get over the line, it's a good thing in terms of learning. You can't, apart from Leicester, you don't go from there to top automatically. Leicester season was a one-off. You don't see that much often. But Arsenal have improved season upon season. Last season, I think they went back a little bit massively. I think last season they should have gone and won the title. It was really at the start of the season when everyone looked at it, Arsenal, Liverpool, City. It was Arsenal season to go win the title last season because Man City dropped off and they were the next best team. But we played incredibly well, especially the first half season. We'd already won the title by April. So, but again, it seems like Arsenal have learned from that. So as long as we can see it as a negative that they have come second, and they haven't got over the line, I feel like they're learning from it. Like that, the game against Newcastle a couple of weeks ago. Well, it was last week, a week and a few days ago. That wouldn't have happened last season. They wouldn't have got that win last season. 1-0 down with a few minutes left. They got 2 goals and a few minutes left. That wouldn't have happened last season. So I feel like Arsenal are learning from those seconds, but it's still a negative on their side, the fact that they haven't got over the line. Because when you get that winning mentality, when you get that winning feeling, it's a bit like where Pep Guardiola sees the Carabao Cup as a real stepping stone. Winning that Carabao Cup is no joke. Winning the Carabao Cup gives you that winning feeling, gives you that winning mentality. And once you've won 1, once you've won 2, once you've won really 1, that Carabao Cup, it just pushes you for the rest of the season. That's why Pep Guardiola always used to treat it absolutely seriously. It's a trophy, it's a major trophy, but he's also seen it as like, right, we can win, got a winning mentality, let's go for the rest of the season. So it is a negative on Arsenal, but it's also positive at the same time. Coming second, you've got to learn from something. You've got to go through the bad to get the good in the end. It's like if like I said, that Leicester season was just a one-off. You can't just go from there to top. You've got to gradually progress from there. Another negative for Arsenal, for me, is Arteta. But it seems, again, like I've just been saying there, it seems like Arteta's learning. It's still, you got to remember here, with Arteta, it's his first job in football management. His first proper job. He's still learning on the job, really, which is a big, big risk for Arsenal. It has been a big, big risk for Arsenal. And he's done a fantastic job to get him where they are, because Arsenal were literally the banter club. They were behind Man United. They were the banter club at the time. Arteta's done a very, very good job to get him where they are, into challenging for the title every single season. But is he that guy to get him over the line? Possibly, still possibly he could be. I think they can maybe get a better manager to get him over the line. And if they don't get him over the line this season, it's his last season for me at Arsenal. But he still might get him over the line this season with what's good. We're going to talk about soon. I'm just going to get through some more comments as well, because Emmy Shiba's in as well. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Negative Arsenal, they love second place. He said that. I might sound crazy. I think Odegaard is their problem too. You know what? I can see it. I mean, I don't think he's a captain personally, but their depth this year is crazy deep. They have 4 right wingers alone. When Maka gets back fit and Mo Kanate, if Maka finds some so much for we will cook. Isaac isn't fit either. We'll beat United. We're back. Tell that Emmy Shiba is a Man United fan. We came second with Ole, then went downhill. Yeah, but with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I remember when you came second with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you relied a lot on individual brilliance, and that was just papering over the cracks. And everyone outside of Manchester, everyone, that wasn't a Man United fan could see that. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did all right, but there was a lot of times he papered over the cracks because of individual brilliance. They've made some smart signs to Eze, Nane, Gyökeres, and that centre back. Hi, Damon. Concerning our away form and conceded 2 more goals is a very frustrating thing to watch. Absolutely, John. Many things are concerning me at Liverpool right now, but it's still a good situation to be in. We are still second in the league. We haven't played particularly well most of the season, all the season for me, really, but we are still second in the league, and we are through in the cup. But there are concerns, and we will absolutely rightly call those concerns out on this channel. And I will never ever hide away from the concerns or the issues that Liverpool have, regardless if we're top or second or wherever. If I see some issues and I see some concerns, I'll always speak about them. Absolutely. Speaking of managers, I hope Glasner comes during the break. Then bring me Wharton and Gay. Yeah, you know what? Take that last part of that sentence in there, Amy, and run with it. You can dream. You can dream. Glasner be stupid to leave Palace right now for Man United. Maybe next year. I understand if Amorim goes in the summer. I understand a manager wanted to go to Man United. I can understand the attractionness of Man United because it's a massive club. So it's like a player going to there. That's your next level. And right now, obviously, not looking good. It's not a good place to probably go to, but still, it is that massive club still. Do you think it's strange we spent so much money and never addressed CDM and depth in wingers? Well, Sheba, if you've watched me for long enough, you know for a fact I've been banging on about a DM for at least 2 years. Obviously, I started this channel in October, but I was previously hosting for LSC Transfer Room, and I've been banging on about a CDM for a long, long time. And we're now seeing the importance of a CDM. And people think now, because Gravenberch played well at CDM, he's now a CDM. He's got the intelligence, he's got the attributes to play a CDM, doesn't mean it's a CDM. It's almost like right back. He's got the intelligence, and he's got the abilities, and he's got the attributes to play at right back, but he's not a right back. Does that make sense? And I've always been saying, look, Gravenberch, watch what he can do box to box, and then I'll prove to you that he's not a CDM. And look at this season. Look what he can do box to box. He's even better. That's the Ajax Gravenberch. That's the Gravenberch that he wants to be. He said himself. He said it in an interview last year. I'm more of an 8, but I'm happy. I'm okay playing 6, so I'm an 8. He said that in an interview last year, and this season, look how happy he is that he's getting more forward runs. But it is right now to the detriment of the team. Do I think Gravenberch should play DM right now? Yes, for the team's sake, rather than his sake. But we shouldn't have him to sacrifice his forward play for the lack of us not getting a DM in. And we ain't got a DM in, obviously, since Fabinho left. I think Konate ahead has been turned by Madrid. I think he's going to do an Mbappe and a TAA and go for free side. Unfortunately for you, though. I mean, it's a tricky one, Konate, isn't it? It's easy to say, oh, yeah, let him go to Real Madrid because he's playing poor. But he's a class centre-back, and I think he's been asked to do things that he shouldn't be doing. I think was thinking Grav and Endo would be enough, but that's a mistake on his part. For me, we didn't even look at a CDM, mate. We didn't even look at CDM, and that's what baffles me. Anyone that watches football and understands football knows we need a CDM, and they know exactly what they're doing at Liverpool. So it baffled me they don't even look at one. And for the season start, no one, even me, thought Salah would need replacing. He doesn't need replacing, but I just think he needs backup. He ain't really. Who else we got a right winger? Frimpong was a right back. Soboslai was a centre midfielder. We ain't got anyone that's a right midfielder that can, also Chiesa, but for whatever reason, Stockton like Chiesa. But Chiesa's not really a right winger. He can play all across. He's just mainly on right wing when he has played. Shula Bajcetic is a better option than Endo. I love Endo, but he's a viable option. He's not a viable option. The physicality issue has been glaring for years. We got bullied. I mean, when he brought Endo on against Chelsea, I just give up. I watched the last 5 minutes with my hands like this. I couldn't believe he brought Endo on. I thought, let's shut up shop. I thought, that is so bad. Gravit definitely in a DM, but he does a job there. But a Chouameni type player is what you need. Kanate is a class player in his day, but I don't like the players who go for free. I don't as well, mate. I don't. Honestly, I'd rather. I said it a few times on here. I'd rather Kanate come out and say, if he wants to go, let us know. I just like truthful and transparency. Let's go back on to the title race then. So yeah, Arsenal, Arteta, again, I think at times has held Arsenal back. And that, again, has probably come down to experience of Arteta. He's not an experienced manager. It's his first job in managerial position. So that experience is still learning. He's still learning on the job. Does that mean he can get him over the line? Does that mean he can't get him over the line? Not really, because he actually might get him over the line this season. Who knows? We can talk about that, because Arsenal are in the title race this season. But I think he could be, if they don't go over the line, I think him and his inexperience and his inability to go for games might be the reason for that in terms of Arsenal. But as I've just said earlier, I feel like he's changing a little bit. I think he's learning. Against Liverpool, Arsenal didn't go for us. And I thought if Arsenal went for us, I think Arsenal would have beaten us. I honestly think that. If they went a little bit more attacking the last 20 minutes, I think they could have got a winner. But they didn't. We got a free kick and we put it in top corner. Again with City, they should have beaten City. City were there for the taking that day, and they didn't go for it again. They played defensive. They started with two DMs, didn't they? He started with 2 people in front of the back 4. He started very, very defensive. And then City obviously went 1-0 up. He got the late equaliser, but he didn't attack from the beginning. And I think that City team is there to be attacked right now. And that's what he didn't do. However, he shocked us all. Arteta shocked us all. Against Newcastle, he changed it. Against Newcastle, he went for it. 1-0 down, he went for it. He says, even at 1-1, they still went for it. I thought Arsenal against Newcastle. I watched the whole game. I thought Arsenal against Newcastle were brilliant. I thought they were brilliant. Even when they were 1-0 down, I thought they were the better team by far. Newcastle had chances. They had many corners. Both teams had many corners that game. They had very good chances on the break. But Arsenal were the better team by far that day. I thought they were brilliant. And they never gave up. And that's something that they haven't been doing. Arteta doesn't do that. Was it out of desperation? But it worked. And they actually got the winner they deserved in the end. Against West Ham, he actually played, was it Eze Odegaard? But let me go through the team. One second. Let me go through that team against West Ham. Sure, he played Eze and Odegaard on Saturday together. So again, he's actually going for games now. Yeah, so yeah, he played Rice, Odegaard, Eze. I'll say Odegaard came off injured, didn't he? After 30 minutes, so Zubimendi came on. But he actually went attacking. So is Arteta learning on the job? It's still obviously he's always going to be learning on the job because it's still his first managerial appointment. But I think he's actually growing as a manager. And if he does grow and if he does get over, does start pushing for games, I think they have a very good chance of winning the title. Right, the positives for Arsenal is I think they've built a team very, very well and slowly built the team as well. So this team right now, majority of it have been playing together for a while. So they built it slowly instead of buying all 10 players at once or 3 players at once. They've actually built it very nice and slowly. So Saliba and Gabriel have been centre back pairing for quite a while. Timber and Calafiori has been there, obviously, a couple of years now. Declan Rice has been there a while. Odegaard's been there a while. Saka's been there a while. Trossard's been there for a few years. You're looking at the starting 11 on Saturday. There's only Eze and Gyökeres that are new this season. David Raya's been there for a few years. Coming off the bench, Mourinho's been there for a couple of years. Luis Skelly also came through last season. Zubimendi's new. Martinel's been there for a few years as well. So they have sort of grown actually a nice team together whilst keeping players together for a long time, and no one's really left. No one's really left Arsenal apart from like the players that you'd regard as you'd want them to leave. No one's left Arsenal. Whilst we lost Trent. Obviously, it's the first team, and no one's done that at Arsenal. Everyone seems to be staying. Everyone's probably sees that they actually can win titles there. Saliba's just signed a new contract. He must be seeing something. They actually can win titles here. Otherwise, he wouldn't stay. So they've got a nice balance there of a team. And I think they've got better depth than Liverpool and Man City. They've got better depth right now. Defensive-wise, they are structurally sound. They have got the best defence in the league, best defensive structure in the league as well. And defence wins you titles. We all talk about this. Goals win your games, defence win your titles. The reason why we didn't win a title under Brendan Rodgers is because our defence was shit. The only time we won a title is when we brought Van Dijk in. We had Alisson Becker in there. Those are the players that win you titles. Having a strong defensive structure wins you titles. Yes, we had Mane and Salah before that, but we didn't win titles. We couldn't win titles until we sorted our defense out. And I said when we bought Van Dijk, I said that's it. That's our title winning signing. Until we bought Van Dijk, we were never going to be winning a title. And Alisson Becker as well. You need a defensive structure, and Arsenal got the best defensive structure and the best defense in the league. And I think that as a whole team right now, I think they are better structured, and I think they are better balanced than Liverpool and Man City. Because I've been talking about, Liverpool. We don't look like we don't know what's our best formation. We don't know who's our best. Who's our best. What's our best tactics? What's our system? I can tell you what slot ball is right now. I can tell you what Arsenal are trying to do, and they have balance. If they don't have Declan, they've got Declan Rice and Zubimendi. That's balance in the midfield with like Eneze or Odegaard with them. That's balance. Centre backs, two unbelievable centre backs, and with Timber and Calafiori either side of him, or Lewis Skelly, balance. Up front, they've got two proper wingers in Saka or Martinelli or Trossard, or if Eze goes out wide, players that can play wing, and a proper number 9 as well. They've got balance throughout the team. I think they're very well drilled. So yeah, I think Arsenal, this is their best chance for me. Right now, looking at everything, this is their best chance of winning the title this season. I think, and anyone that can't see how good they are, is just, I think they're biased. And I think they're just dying on sword of just laughing at Arteta and laughing at Arsenal. We're going to sign João Pedro and Semenyo for the price of Isak. I feel like it would have been much smarter and have an extra option in hindsight, especially since Ekitike turned out so good. I think I don't see any problem with the Isak side. I think Semenyo would have been brilliant. I think we went through right wingers in terms of looking at behind Salah and Semenyo, Kudus, and Mbeumo. I think we were talking about, but Semenyo and Kudus, I said, would be unbelievable signings, and that was in the summer. I think we was talking about that. Yeah, let's have a look at Liverpool then. One thing, Arsenal are physical and well organised. They have also least players in each position. Absolutely. And I think their depth as well is fantastic. I mean, look on the bench against that West Ham on Saturday. On the bench, you have Kepa, who's very experienced as a keeper. Mosquera, I think Mosquera is quite good as a defender. Ben White's experienced. Lewis Skelly is fantastic. Norgard, that experience again comes with that. Wanyeri, fantastic player. Marino has been unbelievable since he's joined them. He's even been brilliant for Spain. Zubimendi is brilliant. And Martinelli can be better, but Martinelli's been coming up clutch in recent games. So, it's a decent player to have on the bench. So, Liverpool. Negatives for Liverpool. Right now, I couldn't tell you what our system is and what our tactics are. I couldn't. And I think Arne Slot's getting it absolutely wrong at the moment. I think he's playing players to suit a system that doesn't suit the players. Salah is getting stuck out wide. Kirkes is coming inside for whatever reason, because that's not the Kirkes we bought. We don't know how best right back is. We're playing a centre mid at right back. We're having to bring a centre mid into defence at times. I couldn't tell you right now what our system is. I couldn't, and it's not getting the best out of the players. And this is why, I think Wirtz has been. I think Wirtz has actually been very, very good at times. I think people going on Wirtz is because he hadn't scored or assisted, but he could have had many assists. If players put the chances in, I think he could have had many assists. But I think it doesn't help Wirtz is the fact that he's been out on left, he's been back in the centre, and behind him there's no stability. Because Gravenberch has been asked to go forward this season. Szoboszlai's swapping and swapping is going everywhere on the pitch. Szoboszlai, McAllister's not really fully fit yet. And with a Wirtz coming in, a proper 10 coming in, we're going to, in fact, me and Naj did a stream earlier that's going to be going out tomorrow, talking about tactics, talking about formations. And with Wirtz coming in as a proper 10, we need a proper 6. We need a proper DM there. And because we haven't got that, then Wirtz is coming back to receive the ball. He's coming too far back. He's doing too much to get the ball when he should just be in that 10 area and be that smart player that we know he can be. So right now, I think Arne Slot's tactics and systems worry me. So that's definitely a negative. There's a few players that are not at scratch at the moment. Salah's been poor, but again, I think he's let down by the system, but he has been poor as well. Gatbo's been poor. McAllister's not fully fit yet. Kirkers has been poor despite him. He's not really that kind of left back as well, but he's been poor. Kanate's been poor. He's been class in a couple of games, but he's been poor. Bradley's been poor. Frimpong, I don't know. I don't think we played Frimpong enough to see what it's really all about yet. So obviously players are playing poor. The performances are poor. So that is massive negatives. You can't win a title like that. If we continue to play like this, we're not winning a title. It's as simple as that. If we continue with this system and this way of playing and not getting the best out of players, we're not winning that Premier League title. Having said that, the positives at Liverpool right now. We have Arne Slot, who should be questioned right now in terms of his tactics, in terms of his systems. He needs to change it up, absolutely. But Arne Slot is one of the best tacticians of world football. He has been there. He's done it. He won it last year, and he knows exactly how to change it. I trust him massively to look at the issues and fix them. He's the best manager for me to do that. So he's a positive, as well as right now. Arne Slot's a negative. Is also a positive. Our other positives is we've got players that have been there, done that. More so than every other team in the league. Salah, Van Dijk, Robbo. In fact, the entire team last season won the league, didn't they? Bar also the new signings. But I'm talking like the real experiences. Alisson, Van Dijk, Robbo, Salah. Players like that, they're really, really experienced. Have been there, done that for a few years. And I think we've got the most world-class players as well. Salah, world-class. Alisson, world-class. Van Dijk, world-class. I think Isak could be one of the best strikers in world football. McAllister, Gravenberch, two of the best midfielders in world football. Kanate, probably top 10 centre-backs in world football. Florian Wirtz could be the at least top 3 number 10s in world football. So I think we've got the better players, especially 11, than the other two in terms of the ability that they've got. I also think we've got more match winners than anyone else. But again, we're just finding our feet now with the players that we've got and trying to find the best system. And this is why it's hard for the new players to come in when we're trying to work out our best system, our best formation. They're not gonna get Bajelian yet because I think Arne Slot's getting it wrong. And if Arne Slot gets it wrong, it's not going to help everyone else. Good evening, Kate, Jonathan. Hope you two are okay. Hope you two are all right. I've not seen you two for a while. I've not seen Jonathan coming in for a while, so I think Kate's taking over at the moment. If Gakpo and Salah were his first choice wingers, why did the club buy Wirtz and just make it congested? Just bought world-class players without a plan. I mean, this is what I've questioned, Shiba, is in terms of like, why have we bought Kirkes if we're playing a left back to come inside as a centre back? Because Kirkes is far from that. It's like we bought a pair of trainers and we're putting them on our feet backwards. We're buying a left back, but we're not playing him how the left back we bought him for. The left back at Bournemouth is not this left back that comes in as centre back. It doesn't do that. It didn't do that. So why? So we might as well have bought a left back that does do that. A Hatter, an Incapi, a Calafiori. That play a Vardiol that can play left back, that can come in as a centre back. A player like that. And this is why I'm questioning. What was our plan with the signings? Because I think the signings were fantastic. I just think the system's wrong for them. But have we bought the signings for the system? I don't get it, me, personally. To get the best of flow, we need a DM and fast wingers who make decisive runs. Absolutely, Shiba. Isak is not fully fit for a full game for Liverpool. Yep, and we are not missing Isak at all. Well, you say that. I think Walter Mard is doing unbelievable, by the way. I knew he would do. He's a very, very good striker. He's a good striker at Stuttgart. But there have been many games Newcastle this season who have struggled in front of goal. You have struggled massively in front of goal. But I think Isak gets you at least maybe 1 or 2 more wins. What, you're 11th in the table? You're behind Man United. So you have missed Isak to a certain extent. And when you're behind Man United, you need to look at yourself a little bit. You can't be behind Man United right now. Not after making Champions League that last season. I wish Maka, Kanate, Isak and Mo would stay in Liverpool for international break and just get fit and work on things, the manager, if we get playing and finally get... It's annoying, isn't it, She? But it's a really annoying, really. Like, it is an international break. I think it's coming at the right time for us. Having said that, I want them to be at Liverpool, going off and doing it. But it gives also Arne Slot a chance to look at our tactics, looks at our system, and hopefully it does sort it out over the coming weeks. But yeah, in terms of positives, I think we've got some more world-class players. We've got more game winners, players that have been there, done that. And we are reigning champions. And that does play a big part. We are the team, everyone in that team, by the new signings, won it last year. So we know how, we're the closest one to know how to get over the line. So that's a massive positive. And again, comes with mentality. We have that winning mentality. We have that championship winning mentality, that title winning mentality. And that's why we've seen last minute winners this season, because we don't give up. We know when we don't finish until the final whistle's blown. And that's what gets you wins. And that's what gets you, when we don't play well, we get wins sometimes. And that is a sign of champions. But that not playing well is just not sustainable for a longer period. It's okay to not play well and get wins. And I think we're the best at doing that right now. Liverpool need to get a new centre-back in January window. I think it's negative as well, Kate, the fact that I don't think we will. And it's come out today again. David Ornstein's come out today again saying he don't think Liverpool will get a centre-back in January. But we've been there, done that before, where we stood still in January when we need a centre-back. And we were top of the league at that point. So it wouldn't surprise me if we did it again. And I see that as another negative. So having said everything that we've seen, looked at Man City, looked at Arsenal, looked at Liverpool. Unless there's any other teams that can come out from nowhere, I think Chelsea might be the best of the rest. Tottenham are looking all right at times. But yeah, I think Chelsea on the day. I don't think Chelsea are consistent enough to push a title race, but they are a very good team when they're fully fit as well. Having said what I've said, title favourites. Who are the title favourites for me right now? And I'll be absolutely honest. Having watched Liverpool every game this season, having watched Arsenal, having watched Man City, I think right now the title favourites just are Arsenal. I'm basing this on performance. I'm basing this on structure. I'm basing this on the defence that they've got. I'm basing on everything. I think Arsenal are title favourites. And I think it's only just. I'd say we're probably tied. Us and Arsenal probably tied. But I just think their defensive soundness is tipping it for me slightly. Because we're just too open. And we're conceding goals too many times. We can't win titles like that. But if I do see a system change from Slot, and if I see improvements in performances, and I see a bit more stability, then we have the better players, and I think we are title favourites. But as of this moment, I see Arsenal slightly title favourites. But that can change. As Emmy said earlier on, it's 7 games in. It's very, very early. 7 games in is nothing. It's no one's title to lose. Not yet. You only say it's someone's title to lose when it's 10 games left in the top of the league. But what we have this season is a serious title race. It's completely different to last season. Exactly what I've been saying all summer. This is a serious title race, and Arsenal are a serious team, and we have a serious title race on our hands. Just hope Arne Slot uses these 2 weeks as to his advantage, gets the system sorted, gets really focused on who's our best team. And I think, as CB said there, I truly believe we beat United and Brentford, and Arsenal play Fulham and Palace. Huge chance we come back within the next 2 game weeks. It's the best game to return to. Manchester United at Anfield. There's no better game to win for me. And if we don't beat Man United at Anfield, then I will be starting to worry in terms of the title race. Absolutely. David, who has Liverpool got the next in the league? We've got Man United at Anfield. Man United at Anfield, Kate. Manchester United at Anfield. So like I said, it is the best game to win. And probably the best game we need right now. Because there's no better game to beat Man United, and then everyone just feels top of the world when we beat Man United. So, yeah, let's hope Slot uses these 2 weeks to his advantage. Thank you everyone for watching tonight. Anyway, I appreciate all of you that have come in. Kate, Shiba, Emmy, John, anyone that's come in and spoken. I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great night, guys. So, like I said, tomorrow there will be I think I'm going to do a morning show in the morning at 9 o'clock. So stay tuned for that. And also in the evening, I'll be putting out a video that me and Naz did today where we talked about formations, we talked about tactics, talked about systems, and what can we look and Slot do to make sure we go forward in a better position. Thank you for watching tonight, guys. Have a great night. Speak to you all.